Let's look at muscle energy techniques for the gastrocnemius, and then we'll follow that by muscle energy techniques for Soleus. Now, normal range of movement for our gastrocnemius is roughly around about 90 degrees, but we're not going to take it all the way to that 90. So when we do gastrocnemius, we need to have the knee in extension. We need to lock it out. A good way about doing this technique is actually locking the knee out, bringing the leg up, placing your thigh onto the table. So now you've got full control over the knee and locking it out. So as I said, it's really important that you have the knee locked out. Okay, so find the range of movement, so you assess it. So we come, obviously we're a little bit short of 90 degrees with Luke here, which is about normal for most people. So we're going to work into this range of movement. Okay, so it's very simple with gastro. All we're going to do is come into that point of bind, which is about there. We'll come a little bit out of it, and then we're going to get Luke to gently push his toes into my arm. We hold that for 10 to 12 seconds. Now remember, it's about 10 to 20% of their maximal power. So if they're pushing you away, that's way too much. So you need to get them to lighten off their load. Okay, and relax. That's great. And then we just take up the slack. Now it's really important that they relax. Okay, if they don't fully relax, then you're not going to get the next point of bind, and then you're obviously then superseding what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so once again, we're about there. We're going to hold that. Another 10 to 12 seconds. 10, 11, 12. Relax. Same thing again. And take it to that next point and holding that for another. What you'll probably find is you'll probably only get roughly around about 3 contractions out of this. Okay, now and relax. Now we want to hold this last stretch for about 25 to 30 seconds, okay, just to reinforce the new range movement. So just relaxing there, Luke. And we're just going to hold that stretch there for about 25 to 30. So they should be feeling this, okay, in the back, okay, whether through the gastro, in the higher part, not necessarily in the lower part. So obviously if they're not, then there could be a little bit of flexion in the knee, okay. So we don't want to do that. We will do that when we do Soleus, but not at the moment, okay. So we reinforce that and then we come back and then we can re-look at that range of movement again, okay. So that should take us back into that 90 degrees. Now that's all we're doing. We're just going for the normal range of movement. We're not trying to increase the range of movement. So we're going to be using this technique when there's hypertonic muscles, so they're tight, okay. So we're just going back to normal. So this is a value add after your massage. Now, if we're going to do Soleus, we now need to bend the knee, okay? So to engage the Soleus, we need the knee bent like so. So once again, this is not difficult. I tend to do both of them together. It is exactly the same principle, except you're going to probably stabilize the knee, okay? Once again, find your point of bind, which is probably roughly around about here. So we've got a little bit of extra range of movement because we've stretched the gastro, which you'd imagine, even though we're not necessarily engaging it. So about there, and it's the same principle again. All right, so once again, we're going to get Luke to push into my arm. A little bit less, mate. That's it, perfect. 5, 6, 9, 12, and relax, and relax. Take it up a little bit more. So you're not going to get huge amounts of give on this, okay? And we'll get Luke to contract again. 2, 3. And relax, relax, relax. And we probably get one more out of that. And that's probably, like I said, about the average for a gastro Soleus. Okay, now when we get to this last one, remember that we follow up with a 25 to 30 second stretch, okay? So we're holding that for 25 to 30 because we're reinforcing, okay, the range of movement that we're now achieved. Okay, like I said, it's not an increase, it's just back to what we call our normal resting range of movement. Okay, so that's gastro Soleus. So gastro, knee, needs to be an extension to get the stretch. Obviously with Soleus, and do it this way. Now there is an alternative way that we can do it. We can also, if the hamstrings aren't too tight, you can get your clients to 90 degrees, then by all means you can get that. But obviously you can see here with Luke, he's actually really quite tight, so we'd be lucky to get to roughly around about 70 or 80 degrees. Okay, so I'm not going to force that upon him. So this is by far the more alternative approach to do it. Okay, so muscle energy techniques, Gastrocnemius and Soleus.